Hey guys, and welcome to this edition of Scruff's Garage. Today I'm working on my 1999 Ford F250. I've got several projects going, but they all hinge around installing this aftermarket radio with a 7-inch screen. Assuming you've gotten to the point where you've got the dash out, I'll cover removing the dash in a separate video, but this is sort of picking up specific to just the install of the radio. So the radio will come with wiring harnesses that are these two ends that will plug into the back of the radio. You'll want a vehicle-specific wiring harness adapter. Metra makes one. I'll leave a link to this in the episode notes with the part number. This end will plug into your factory harness. You'll need to cut, splice, solder, and heat shrink the connections there. There are instructions that come with the radio about what color wires are specific to their radio. And then the Metra kit has the same coating on the back of their packaging. It's very, very simple. You just match up the color to color. So orange wire to orange wire, red to red, green with a black tracer to a green with a black tracer. Very straightforward, no real surprises there. And this will allow you to plug into your factory harness without having to cut that up. There's a third harness here that will go to the radio. For my application for this 99 F250, none of these wires are used except for this pink wire, which will be for the backup camera. I'll discuss the backup camera in a separate video because I'll talk about how we're going to wire that so that it's powered all the time, and then you can just switch over on the camera or on the radio if you want to check the trailer using the camera, and then also wire it so that it triggers automatically when you put the vehicle in reverse so that the screen goes over to the backup camera. So that will be discussed in more detail in a separate video. For installing the radio in the dash, Metra also makes a trim kit, so you got these wing panels that will go on each side. However, we need to make some modifications to the dash itself to get the radio to fit. So if you look at this radio, if you can see in there, it doesn't fit all the way in. We need some clearance top and bottom. We've got plenty of clearance side to side, which these trim panels will help take up the difference there so you don't have a gap. But we need to clearance that lip up top and that lip down at the bottom. I'm probably going to use an oscillating tool to trim that out. You could use a number of different methods to do it, but I think that'll be the cleanest and easiest. Okay, here's a look at our dash wiring. So that's your antenna connection. That was stock, no big deal there. This is our video cable coming from the backup camera. And we've wired the trigger wire into the pink wire that will plug into the back of the radio, so it will automatically switch over when the truck is in reverse. And then plugging into your factory harness, you've got all of your speaker wires and power wires that you cut and crimped and soldered and heat shrinked earlier. I also ran this 3.5 millimeter microphone jack. I'm going to mount the microphone here in front of the steering wheel. That'll just be a piece of double-sided tape. But I run the wiring behind the dash. That'll come over here to the radio. It has a microphone input. I feel like that's probably going to give me a little better audio when I'm using the Bluetooth hands-free for my phone. Okay, finishing up the radio install. Before you snap the radio into place, there's no way to get this back out without taking the dash off. So make sure everything works. So before you snap it all the way in, plug everything in, turn the key on, make sure you get music and video and all the things. Make sure everything works before you snap it in, because from this position there's no way to get it back out. It is a very tight fit on the sides. All the other installations that I have seen, and including the instructions, say don't do any trimming on the edge on the sides of the dash bezel. To get mine to snap in place, maybe it's the radio that I'm using, maybe it's just a hair wider than maybe some others, I had to take the Dremel and clearance just a little bit out of each side until I could get it to snap into place. They give you a trim bezel to go down here at the bottom That helps tighten up the gap just a little bit because you did have to trim top and bottom. Okay, here's a look at the radio. I'll turn it on for you. So you can email this company and they'll send you the logo screen. So if you want Ford or GMC or Chevy, whatever you want in the startup screen. So I had them send me the Ford logo. If you're observant, you may notice this is a slightly different model radio than what you saw previously. When I first installed the radio, I was getting a parasitic drain that was causing the battery to go bad. I did quite a bit of diagnosing and traced it back to the radio itself. Something wasn't completely going to sleep when the key was off, so it was causing a battery drain. To the company's credit, they gave me a refund on the original radio, so I reordered actually a slightly upgraded model. It's just a slightly better display. The customer service was good. If you emailed them, they'll send you updates for the software, any firmware kind of updates. And I'll put the truck in reverse so that you can see the backup camera. I think you can turn on and off the guiding lines if you like those or don't like those. One other detail, and I'll cover this more in the separate video about the backup camera, but you can go into the settings, and the way I wired it, the backup camera is powered all the time, but there is not a dash interface icon for the rear camera just to turn it on. So I'll show you, like I said in the other video, but I split the video signal and I have it come in through the front camera. So I can have the truck in park or in drive, doesn't matter. I can get to the rear camera. If I wanted to check something on the trailer while I was driving, there is a way to get to that. So overall, I've been super happy having this radio in the truck. It's been a great upgrade. It is the wireless CarPlay, so it automatically syncs to my phone as soon as I get in. Having the larger screen, so if you want to be able to see the map while you're driving, that's helpful. All of your CarPlay interfaces, and then of course the backup camera is great as well. So I hope this video helps. It's just a quick overview of some of the details if you're going to install a radio like this in your 99 F250 or similar truck. A few of the steps to go through. I installed the same radio in a buddy's GMC 2500 HD. He loves it as well. It's a great addition, especially for the price. If you have any questions, feel free to post those in the comments below. I'll always answer anything that I can. And as always, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Scruff's Garage.